you. Okay, so we are going to use what is called a conversion factor. And the conversion factor is always this. The measurement you want divided by, nice spelling, the measurement you have. And this conversion factor will work for every single conversion you ever need to do. Minutes to hours, minutes to days, hours to days, seconds to hours, kilometers to miles, miles to yards, everything. You will be doing buckets of conversions in science class. And when I say buckets, I mean tons. Get it? Because there's two types of tons. Stop it. You're going to do this about a bazillion times in your school career, okay? The problem is a lot of people are looking for a shortcut and they're trying to cut out a step. And the problem with that is they forget whether they're multiplying or dividing, because too often they don't want to do the actual work with it. So I'm going to show you the longest way possible to do a conversion. And after you've done a few of them the long way, you'll start recognizing when you multiply and when you divide. You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So we take this fraction and we multiply that by what we're converting. Okay? Now, you guys are smart kids. You could convert this to meters in your head, right? You know that it's divided by 100, right? Because you've done it to death. You know about how measurement, how numbers work. But when you're switching between systems or with measurements that you're not familiar with, like in physics, there's measurements that you may not be aware of, like farads, right? Or joules. You picking up what I'm putting down? If you don't know what those are worth, like centimeters and meters, then this method will be helpful to you, okay? So I'm starting with a super easy one that you already know how to do. I'll show you how to work with this conversion factor, and then it will be yours to use forever. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what we do. We got to convert centimeters to meters. So what do we want? We want meters, yes? What do we have? Centimeters. So we do make the fraction. The measurement we want, 1 meter. The measurement we have, 100 centimeters. And where did I get that? From my chart, right? Now again, you guys already knew that in your head, but you maybe didn't know that 1 yard was 36 inches. You following me? So you set it up that way, what I want and what I have. And then you multiply by what I'm converting. What am I converting? 485 centimeters. Cool? Now you guys are smart kids. What denominator is here that isn't written here? 1, right? This is technically over 1, isn't it? And then you all know how to multiply fractions, right? 1 times 485 gets me 485 over 100. And then you do that division. 2 zeros, move the decimal 2 places, 4.85 meters. You already knew that, but I want you to see the mechanics of it. Is everyone cool? That's mathematically why it works. Now, you've all been told to convert meters to centimeters to meters, you divide by 100, right? But this is what is actually happening. And as you get further and further into math, with more and more different measurements being crammed into your head, knowing what you're doing and having it work, no matter what the measurement is, will become very valuable. Understand? But right now, it seems super easy. Why am I doing this? Because eventually it's not going to be. Cool? So, number 2, 57 inches to feet. Set up your rule. I want feet. So it's 1 foot over 12 inches. And I'm multiplying by 57. So I'm going to end up with 57 over 12, aren't I? Right? Now, what would you do when faced with that? Because that's not a number that makes any sense, is it? Right? Right? I'm 68 inches tall. Do we give our height in inches? No. What would I say my height was? 5'8". So this is not a useful number, is it? So what would we do there? You're going to make it a mixed number. Cool. Which is 4 and 9/12. Now, you guys are smart kids, right? What's that for? There's your feet, right? 4 feet, 9 out of 12 inches. So it's 9 inches. Now, how many of you, when you saw this fraction, automatically wanted to go to your calculator and do division? Probably a lot of you. And you would have gotten 4.75. Right? Would we give that as a measurement in imperial? Why? Because it's a decimal. Now here's the mistake a lot of people make. They see 4.75 and want to say it's 4 foot 7 inches. Why is that wrong? Because it's out of 12, not 10. And everybody makes that mistake at least once. Right? So you got to watch for that. If you are doing imperial, you have to remember this part is not a decimal in imperial. You got to watch for that. Do you understand? Picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. 4 foot 1 inch is not 4.1 feet. It's 4 and 1/12. Cool? What if we were doing weight? Where's a weight? 1 pound is 16 ounces. So 1 pound, 1 ounce is not 1.1, is it? It's 1 and 1/16. Picking up what I'm putting down? It's a trick that they like to use on multiple choice tests, especially to mess with your heads. Okay? Because a great many of you would have no problem saying 4.75 feet there, right? Okay, so what about these two? What's my fraction going to be? Yards to feet. So what do I build? I look on my chart and I need feet on top, yards on the bottom. So what numbers go where? 3 feet and 1 yard. And I have 15 yards. So this one's easy because it's 1 times 1, right? So it's just going to be 15 times 3 to get 45 feet. Everyone cool? Everyone's cool? And this one, inches to yards. So I want yards, yards on top, inches on the bottom. I go to my chart. I see it's 1 yard for 36 inches times 136, which gets me 136 over 36. Do I need to go to my calculator for that? I probably should, right, Tiffany? Oh, goodness gracious, it is feet. What an idiot. Thank you, Tiffany. 1 tick is feet, isn't it? What a moron. So it's feet that I want. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. So it's 3-1. Ooh. And what am I converting? I'm converting 136 feet. So it's just multiply 136 times 3, which is... Oh, I'm going feet to yards. Oh my God, I'm all screwed up now because of this. I'm so embarrassed. Take a breath. I want yards, 1 yard. I have feet, 3 feet. And I'm multiplying by 136. So it becomes 136 over 3. So it becomes what? When you go to your calculator? 136 divided by 3, which is 45 on your calculator, 0.33 repeating. Now, the money question. Would we leave it like that? No. What fraction does 0.333333 equate to? Pardon? Yeah, 1/3. Absolutely correct. Right? So this is 45 yards and then 1/3 of a yard, correct? What's 1/3 of a yard? 1 foot. So it becomes 45 yards, 1 foot. Is everybody cool with that? You got to remember your remainders. Is everybody good? I can probably shut up now, can't I? Okay. So you guys go ahead and you're going to do up to 16 on your next page. It should go to 16, yes? Okay, that's exactly what we've been doing now. Does your next page end at 16? Good. Go. Use your calculators if you need to. I'm going to write the right answers on here. You're going to check if they work, if you're doing it right. Cool? The next page has some thinking involved. You're probably going to want to talk to your neighbors about 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay? That one you can work on together. Your assignment for the day, the thing you're taking home for homework, because you have a bit of time left in class, half an hour as a matter of fact, I have 2 worksheets here. You are going to do the first page is tonight's assignment. Okay? The second page will be tomorrow's. I'm easing you into Math 10 very carefully because you've had 2 months off. Right? So when you're done up to 20, you come and get the assignment sheet from me. It didn't photocopy incredibly well, so just do the best you can with it. Okay? Tomorrow I'll go over all of this sheet. Cool? Okay. So everybody knows what they're doing. You're working up to 16. Do that on your own. It should take a couple of minutes. And then you'll probably want to talk to a neighbor for the rest. Yes. Of course. Yes. Guys, I will stop recording when I have filled in up to 20 or up to 16. I probably won't get to 20 today with you, but I will record that later and you can mark your own work by checking on YouTube tonight if you want. Cool? Okay. And remember, on YouTube, I'm only going to show you the answers. If you have something different than me, then tomorrow in class, you're going to want to ask, hey, how did you get this? And we'll go over it. Got it? Okay. Go. Okay, I'm going to put up 1 to 16, or not 1 to 16, dummy head. 5 to 16 on the board behind me. Please check your own work. Make sure you're doing it right. There's 5 to 10. They are written in blue. To make it easier for you, I will highlight the actual answers. If you wish, I am more than willing to show you how I got to them all. But most of you should be okay with this. Everybody good? Which one? 6. 4.2 miles to feet. So I want feet. So I look on my chart. 5,280 feet is 1 mile times 4.2. So 4.2 times 5,280 got me that. Cool? Everybody good? Everyone good with the fake, math class questions? Yeah? Now you'll notice I slide slightly into more real-world examples for 11 to 16. They don't all fit on one screen, sorry. What makes 13 hard? You've got yards and inches. So you've got to make sure they're in both Both units are the same before you continue. Now remember, guys, I am not a mind reader. So if you don't have one of my answers, I don't know that you don't know how to do it if you don't ask me. You understand? Everybody with me? If I was a mind reader, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you. I'd be out in the real world earning $1 bazillion. Okay? But sadly, I am not a bazillionaire. I am simply me. Stunningly handsome, incredibly intelligent, uproariously funny, but not a bazillionaire. Oh, and I forgot to mention how humble. It takes a special kind of person to brag about their humility. But I also remind you all that just because you live in North America, you do not have to always be humble. Because of the things in the world that I could do, I'm really, really bad at most of them. There's a couple of things I'm good at. Elma. 12 says 204. My sevens, Elma, will have a cross on them like European sevens will, because I'm a lazy person and my twos often look like sevens. I used to have a credit card that was for Matthew L. Myers. My middle initial is C, but when I filled out the application, I went like that, and they read that as L instead of a C. So it was a pain in the butt to use that credit card because it wasn't in my actual name. And I would forget, and I would punch it into computers and things. Name on credit card, Matthew C. Myers. And I would forget, oh no, that credit card says I'm Matthew L. Myers. Then I got it changed. You want to know why I got it changed? Because I lost my wallet. And then I called it in to get it canceled. And they sent me a new one. But I found my wallet before the new credit cards arrived. It fell off my car and somebody actually mailed it back to me after they took out all the cash. Which, of course, I don't blame the guy. Took out all the cash, but then he mailed my wallet to me. And then but the new credit card had arrived, so I had two of the exact same credit cards. And I was cutting up all the old ones that I called in and canceled, but I accidentally cut up the new one that was Matthew C. Myers, and I kept the one that was Matthew L. Myers. Then I went to the store and I tried to use it, and all these alarms go off, and they're like, oh my God, you're a thief, because that credit card had been reported as stolen. It was very embarrassing in Zellers that day. Zellers was still open then. Yes, it was very embarrassing for me. I'm okay now. I've got some distance from it. I can work with it. But back then, when I was 21, it was very embarrassing because I was with a girl. Why was I with a girl in Zellers? We just happened to be in Zellers. And I was being called a thief. But then they couldn't explain why I had all the rest of the ID. So they let me go. Then I had to call and get another new credit card. And they're like, you're an idiot. Shut up. Of course I can. I can scroll more. Up or down? Down, yes. And what number do you want to see, Jess? 10. 0.000172. Do you want to see how I got that? Okay. This is one of those ones like we talked about yesterday, right? You got to move the zeros. So I got to go from 17.2 millimeters up to kilometers, right? So millimeters to centimeters is 1 decimal. Centimeters to meters is 2 decimals, right? So I go from millimeters, centimeters, decameters, right? Centi, deci. Now I'm at base, right? 0.0172 meters. Then I got to go one more for decameters, one more for hectometers, and one more for kilometers. 4 zeros. Because I moved 7 steps up that ladder. Cool? It's just that. Now, why did I put number 10 in there? Because would you ever measure that way? No. Would you ever measure 17 millimeters as kilometers? course not. Just like the example I give, I live 32 million centimeters from work. It's a stupid thing to do. It's a math class thing to do. It's something math teachers like to do to you guys, just to see if you really get it. And that is where the when are we ever going to use this in real life comes in. You're not. But the ability to convert, you are. Is everyone okay with 11 to 16? 15. Yep. That's a tricky one. You got to do the same thing with the 40 centimeters, right? That one's already in kilometers. So 1.35. And then meters to kilometers is 0.125, right? Because you move it 3 spaces. And then centimeters, you had to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to get 0.004 and then add it up. Cool? Again, stupid question. Just there to make sure you know what you're actually doing. And then this one I gave you a choice. You could either go yards, feet, inches, or when the numbers get that big, guys, you can go ahead and leave it as decimals. Because that shows me you still know how to convert. You picking up what I'm putting down? Right? 12. Five yards, 2 feet. Well, 5 yards times 36 inches in 1 yard, right? So 5 times 36 is 180, right? Feet to inches. 2 feet, and I want my inches, 12 over 1. 2 times 12 is 24, 180, and 24 is 204. Cool? What 7 feet? That's a 2. 2 feet. Remember, my 7s have the little 7, the European cross. I will obviously have to work on that with you guys. I will make my 2s more 2E for you. It's a problem on my new computer because the pen gets away from me. It doesn't have enough resistance. I don't know if any of you guys have ever written on a tablet, but it's like ice. It just goes. My old tablet it had a little bit of friction, so it was easier to write on. This one, my pen just... Pardon? That's all you do for now. I want to make sure everybody can do that. Because those are just regular conversions, yeah? Okay. Now, 17 through 20 are going to require some thinking. You'll probably want to work with someone. Okay? I'm going to put the right answers up while you guys are working. And remember, don't leave without getting the assignment. You only do the first page. Okay? Front and back of the first page. Got it? In a couple of days, I'll be giving out textbooks. Okay? Because the timetables are still changing. I just had 2 new kids arrive in my other grade 10 class and 2 kids leave. So it's a good thing I haven't given out textbooks or I would have had to track those people down. And in addition to being stunningly handsome, uproariously funny, and outrageously intelligent, I am stupidly lazy if I can be. And chasing kids down to find their textbooks falls in the lazy category. Understand? Okay. So you guys go ahead. I'm going to put in the right answers here. I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to put it on YouTube. You can mark it tonight on YouTube if you don't see it all today. Okay? And then tomorrow, if you need to see how to do one of them, I'll go over how to do it. Got it? Okay. If you need me, just ask. I'm right here awaiting the chance to assist you. Oakley dokley? is 20 A, B, and C. And there's the cost. I'll shrink it down so it's all on the screen in one go. There we go. Tomorrow I will go over it for anybody who needs to see why the answers are there.